Copa, which, by the way, 10 Seconds Gaming Frost was able to power through even with the Farsa on the other side.
Yeah, and
the Farsa is a soft counter, by the way, and I think, oh, there you go. They were not going to risk it anyways.
yeah, I really wanted to actually point out this Yishin that you just mentioned. Like, you guys just took the words out of my mouth. Like, the Mountain Shocker is definitely that big element to be able to just get all these sort of information in, and the mobility was great enough for him to just slowly ramp up. And I definitely think that this S-tier marksman is being cut off for a really good reason that 10S Gaming Frost has been depending very much on to take on RSG side.
YSS, one of those heroes that I think fits 10S Gaming Frost playstyle really well. They don't want to be as aggressive as much as possible. If they can avoid fights into the early game, they will. But Alter Ego does not want to give that certain information with the Mountain Shocker. So that only means that with this pick, you would know right now that Alter Ego Esports wants to go for the aggressive.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Butters. I mean, 100% on that Yishin definitely fits into their playstyle. The Jawhead was only natural. It was so good. But 10 seconds here have a lot of options when it comes to the side lanes. Lapu Lapu being one of the picks. They could even go for a support pick here as well.
Support pick, I think they wouldn't risk it actually missing out on Popol and Koopa if that was their decision. Because I think if the rest of the meta have moved on from Popol and Koopa, which, by the way, is about maybe 6 months behind us at this point, then you don't let your opponents take that away from you, especially after the second phase. But yeah, that's going to be either a side lane Kagura, which they also were very successful with, or maybe for Obuyan in mid.
That's right, and now heading in towards the picks for Alter Ego Esports, they are seeing a really early mage pick coming out from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. Usually it's been comboed in with perhaps even things like the Atlas coming in towards phase 2 that they can also consider, but Alter Ego Esports, their sort of response here to be able to get a perfect sort of setup coming into combo with the Jawhead would possibly be picking perhaps the marksman here before we move in towards the second phase.
The thing is with Jawhead, the only real combos you can do with him are actually burst heroes. You just burst everything down. So I think that's what the Matilda is for, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen a side lane Roger. This might just be a backup core just in case 10 Seconds Gaming Frost choose to choke out cores, right? If they attack Shelly Boy from here.
I really think that Shelly Boy is going to play this Roger. Yep. You've been putting it on him. It's been very successful. And with the Matilda and the Jawhead, you need someone who can dive in as well.
Sick 'em.
Yeah. So clearly the Roger and with the Kagura pick, it's kind of very dangerous right now for the side of 10S Gaming Frost because you really don't have that control. But Popol and Koopa,
That's what we've been waiting for. This has been the pick. 10 Seconds Gaming Frost only showing it at the end of the group stages and now being one of the more prominent picks for them, as this is probably going to be a pattern here. However, I will say that Alter Ego, just the double flex pick, I mean, the Roger, yes, he can go into the jungle, he can be your hyper carry, but he can also go into the side lane. Same goes for the Jawhead, where it's like, oh yes, I want to be into that side lane. However, he can be helped out quite a bit with Matilda to increase his speed of rotations and big playmaking.
Are you saying that's something we can never count out? Because again, who'd have thunk, right? That Popol and Koopa will be making a showing at day 1 of the playoffs, M2, and Cassius, instead of Udil, will be playing for Alter Ego when it's do or die. So right now, second phase of bans, Alter Ego, they can definitely try to choke out Sheena. 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. Oh wow, I think they got thrown off. enough. I think they really have, because they're starting to ban out gold laners, and there's so many open out there still.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine banning out the gold laners here, where it really just narrows it down to say, hey, if you want to flex them, you got to play with your flex picks. We want to make sure that if you are going to play your flex picks, we're going to force it down into one singular option.
I agree, because the ban on the Alice is genius. Just because you have Popol and Koopa there, you have an extra target that can be a lifesteal factor for the side of the Alice. Now, seeing Alter Ego's draft, you would know that they just want to dive, and the Alice would be the perfect pick. The Alice doesn't really take long to pop off. You just need your levels, you just need some of the orbs, and they can make space for that Alice with a Roger Jawhead. It's going to be easy.
Honestly, I want to get some of your opinions here, Contra. I mean, like, Matilda has been one of these prominent picks that we've seen many, many times, and I'm feeling like it's starting to become a significant enabler for a lot of these other heroes in towards the side lane. We've seen the Yuzong, we've seen the Alice, we've even seen the Atlas as well.
That's right, and we see she has a lot of potential in the early game with her high-level damages as well, and when she does get the Circling Eagle, it can be a team fight changer in that sort of sense, where you could just go in, set things up for the team. And with that, going back towards the bans as well, it's quick thinking from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming for us to be banning out that Cho that has been frequently picked by many of these teams, so they don't want to see that one coming. But speaking of which, Hayabusa has been pointed out from the coaches as well as the analysts early on, and this is definitely going to be pretty much disruptive towards the final two picks for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost.
You know, I like it. The Hayabusa ban on Alter Ego's side definitely gives Sheena quite a bit to think about. I think that would have been a great pickup, by the way, because the way the Hayabusa will work in this lineup, given we're still missing two, Popol and Koopa is two bodies, automatically two bodies. So you can just leave the Hayabusa in the jungle to do his own thing while you have the traps from the Popol and Koopa to scout out, to make sure that Sheena has a good time farming. So I think that's what Alter Ego is reading into. And right now they get Harley. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most prominent VODs, all right? Information you can get on 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, I do believe, has them playing a Harley from the jungle. So that might be telling.
I mean, this is interesting because we're taking a lot of notes from everywhere. We've seen Evo SG actually whipping out the Harley themselves, having this, you know, really powerful mid-gamer who could basically just shut down your jungler throughout a good majority of the mid-game, which absolutely sucks. But, you know, Alter Ego, they want to stick to that team fight. They're bringing in the Yuzong, great wombo combos and playmaking with the Jawhead as well as the Matilda.
Yeah, that Harley pick is so one-dimensional if you think about it. Like, if they don't get a Farsa for 10S Gaming Frost, they're not really gonna make the most out of that passive or the magic resistance that Harley takes from the enemy team. Now, Alter Ego Esports, they put a target for this Harley, and it's going to be the Claude. Now, 10S Gaming Frost, they have to make the most out of this Harley. I think it can work well on its own, but if you can just pad it a bit more, it would be better.
Yeah, and I definitely think that the Claude really suits the situation where there's going to be so many of all these really powerful mage that will be diving into the face of that Claude, so he could easily just battle mirror image out of that sort of situation, or even finally catch them in towards that awkward position, lock them right in for that big blazing duet, and finishing things off. It's going to be another mage for the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. What do you think about this, Leo?
I think it's fine. Like, this is what Butter said that they needed, and there was no way Alter Ego was going to choke him out anyways. There was no room for another mage for Alter Ego. So, yeah, I think the Farsa is the best thing that they can pick up here. And, yeah, they're looking soft, but when it comes down to it, if you're talking about firepower, 10 Seconds Gaming Frost is not left wanting. Do note, though, I think, Contra, you were talking about how Cassius, or whoever might be playing the Claude, might be using Battle Mirror Image more as a defense mechanism, like an escape. I'm guessing they need that for Sheena. They want to chase the little boy. When he does space escape or space magic, like, just catch him where the hat is.
Yeah, I think that's also a pretty good shout here because, again, Harley is one of those, as Butters mentioned, a very linear type hero where he wants to go in, but you know exactly when he's going to come out. It's just all about that timing. And I think more importantly, we need to talk about win conditions here because the team composition position coming in from 10 Seconds Gaming, early to mid, absolutely disrupted. That Popo and Koopa at level 2 could cause a lot of problems for Alter Ego, and Alter Ego wants to scale. But with that said, let's get this show on the road. First game of today, Alter Ego versus 10 Second Gaming. Boys, take it away.
And now in this best of one, we've already seen both of these teams really showing so much power back in the group stages. Of course, we didn't really expect the side of Alter Ego Esports to go 0-2 early on, and they've already learned their lessons heading in towards this match itself. And it seems like it is going to be a little bit of a scuffle coming forward that Little Wanderer.
Here we go, another fight waiting to happen, actually the first in a while. It's Sevnia taking quite a few chunks. Here's the thing, man. It's so hard to read exactly what Alter Ego Esports is doing because their coverage is amazing. They have a good amount of CC. They have a good amount of damage on board. But if it's 10 Second Gaming Frost we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, the mission is clear here. Just blow up whoever Sheena says, go.
And look at Matilda here just going in. Sevnia will be the target. And Liam Murphy skipping a beat there. That flicker went overboard.
Yeah.
Well, he really has to make sure that he keeps himself safe. After all, you don't want to be first-blooded so early in towards the game. Now, 1 minute, 30 seconds, a couple more, you'll be seeing the turtle appearing over on the top side of the river.
Leo Murphy here with another probable initiate, but the ejector goes down in time. And Koro, they are really playing this side lane Kagura, XP lane Kagura for quite a while now.
Now, it's going to be a little bit of the cutting of the wave as well. Alter Ego trying to make sure that Koro has got not much leeway to get out of this, but over on the other side of the lane as well, the Yuzong probably could not do all too much as Alter Ego Esports, they need to keep an eye on this turtle real soon.
Here's what I'm afraid of. Hold up. Oh! Oh!
My
First
goodness.
blood drawn here by Sheena, and they want more. They want more.
Wow, just perfect timing right there. That setup coming in with the feather airstrike from Ubuyan as well has been able to shove them aside and get that first kill for Sheena. Now they've got absolute control. They didn't even say that, hey, we're going to be securing that turtle immediately. They're trying to set up for even more of these.
And Sheena there just using that passive to make the most out of that. If it was another hero or if the mechanic wasn't there, that would have been an escape coming up from Alter Ego Esports, and that is how you make the most out of that Harith pick. And look at this, Sevnia just using the Wolf to just zone out people, and I think Tennis Gaming Frost has this turtle in the bag.
Yeah, you can see Lil Murphy was just shoved all the way in towards the side of the jungle, and there's just no zone for him to get anywhere close. And Alter Ego has to let that one off. Now that we see a little bit of the goal discrepancy being created from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, they're hoping to be able to get even more and starting it from the top side.
Yep, they're almost 1,000 ahead here. And as I was saying, man, I think this is just Alter Ego Esports taking it slow. Because look at the way that they scale. If this game goes long,
Oh, they're catching in. And it seems like Obuya will be the one to fall in this sort of skirmish while Leo Murphy walks out of that one alive. Sevnia has been caught up by Shellboy, but Kappa, though, he's trying to do a little bit more of that trade, but he's not in the right position to do so. He might just fall right here as Yam will be taking him down alongside with the Salad Boy that we've witnessed performing all too well.
I really like the punish coming out here from the side of Alter Ego Esports. They waited for the level 6 on the Roger. They got the second orange buff, and it was clearly, the fight was clearly on their side. Now Jorge will still be the target, and that is going to be bad. Koro gets called out, and he tries to get away, but the Claude gets the kill.
That's what I was saying, man. If Alter Ego just takes their time and finds these little windows, they're gonna win. And if that doesn't work out, stay in the game, extend it as long as you need to, and you just scale infinitely better. You have 2 marksmen, and you have Matilda, who even if doesn't deal as much damage on paper, just has Circling Eagle anyways, and just knocks up at least one for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it will be a real tough thing to deal with here, but Lil Murphy earlier, he has been able to set up a real good unstoppable force into the ejector, and well, there's no place that they can possibly go out of that. Now, Next turtle coming up online, and they've already took the little wander in the hands of 10 seconds. Although they had that initial turtle, Alter Ego is looking to turn tides right here. They catch on Leo Murphy with the feathered airstrike. As you can see, the Black Dragon form has already been used out, but they're not in position. Jet Boy goes in for the dive as well, looking for Zempia, as they will be walking out with a killing spree headed their way.
10S Gaming Frost just really relies on that feathered airstrike so much that when it's gone, Celiboy just goes in. He doesn't even care about the other ultimates. He just wants to damage the hell out of 10S Gaming Frost.
Seeing it from a mile away, literally, it's telegraphed, and so far it hasn't worked out for them. And there's another. Speak of the devil, right? Up top, though, this might be a fight that Cassius wants to force. No, not really.
Yeah, they've already seen how it's going to be going down. Sheena still getting as much goal as possible from these camps as they are now losing a turret down over the lower side of the map, and Koro could only watch as it falls. Once more, 10 seconds on pursuit for this turtle, and Cassius, he's coming real close, but it will still be used by Sheena with the retribution to take on that.
That is a really good play, but Leo Murphy getting chased down. They won't pursue that. They're really using the Popol and Koopa well here. Leo Murphy can't find the openings to just set for the perfect ejector. He might go to the bottom lane, but the thing is, it is going to be really bad if he actually goes for it. But Harley goes down, execute on that. Yu Zhong does wonders for him.
And we can definitely see a 1-3-1 going on. Papa going in for the duck! And Papa needing to deal with Cassius as well. Just a little bit of poke, but he will be able to trade right back at him. But they're slowly to lose control, and there goes Cassius. Driving line towards a little bit of the aggression, but not too much that comes out of that. So Leo, a little bit back and forth going on, but 10 seconds gaming. They're going in with a better airstrike to snipe away Cassius.
Yeah, it's very messy exactly how Alter Ego has been going for it. I mean, yeah, for one, I understand how Leo Murphy isn't catching the best ejectors because, yeah, there's an extra body. There's that wolf, there's Koopa on the map. And for 10 seconds gaming Frost is, you just don't know at what angle Alter Ego is going to be coming at you, right? You have Pai with the Battle Mirror image. You have the Unstoppable Force. You have Yam with the Black Dragon Bomb. And Leo Murphy's in trouble here.
Oh boy, he's going to run for his life, but Sheena managed to catch him off with the cards as Yam tries to actually go in for the chase, and Sheena will be taken off after having everything expended. Stephanie is the next one on the chopping block, and wow, just look at Yam. This time he's definitely showing up, and he's still giving the chase on towards Valpa, and they are setting this one great of dive. But Jelly Boy, he's not in that position to go for the pursuit.
10S Gaming Frost, they're really good at the pick-offs, but the thing is, everything that comes out from them in terms of skill, positioning, it's all telegraphed here by the side of Alter Ego Esports. They really know from a mile away where that fight is going. As long as there's a feathered airstrike down, it's go time for them, and I don't really know how 10S Gaming Frost will stop the push that's coming out for Alter Esports.
This is exactly how it's going. We're not even at the 10-minute mark. Lord isn't even on the map, but so far Alter Ego has been making the better decisions on a macro scale. And right now, there's a feathered airstrike. They're out of range, and Leo Murphy is just baiting this. I think they're just waiting.
Yeah, Leo Murphy now goes in for a return favor, and yeah, he's in position with his Black Dragon form. Quasi in for a double. Can't get the triple. Flicker has already been used by Papa, and it will be the Roger to secure that one for himself. But Leo gives his life out for that Survey pursuit.
Who is this young man? In the group stage, Yam wasn't playing like this. And here in the playoffs, what's going on?
We just see him getting enabled for all these sort of dives, and look at everyone in position once again. Pai now pulls himself back. Great better airstrike, but Obuyan could not catch him out.
7-0-4, Festival of Blood. You can't start this game much better than this for Yam. My boy is coming back.
Yo, this is
coming
it.
back. This is his performance level.
This is it. I think
This is it.
Why they needed Cassius.
I think this is Yam awakened.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, this is his redemption moment right here. There's so many doubters hailing back in Indonesia where they say, can he actually replace Ahmed? Hey, at this point in time, I think he has been able to do so, but oh, the buffs have already been stolen away, and Sepnia a little bit too far out of reach one more kill for Alter Ego Esports.
Yo, I
And-
think it's a crime to say Yam should replace Ahmad.
Yeah.
Yam is amazing.
And
Yam
look-
is his own player.
Look at Leo Murphy. He's getting punished here by having a broken recall button.
Team fight, break it out. Oh, Yam gets another one. So, no, that's going into B. Obuyan, actually, Obuyan is getting caught out more often now, and he didn't even get a chance to pop the Purify.
Yeah, I feel like this is a case where he just have too much to actually digest in these sort of scenarios, and he can't sit still to even use the Feather Airstrike properly in a couple of all these scenarios. The free ball for the side of Alter Ego Esports, and they're going to be going full send on this one because every single one of these waves are crashing right in from every direction.
This is a slow choke.
And looking at how Alter Ego did things here, they're more efficient into just getting that gold. But look at this, there is a fight happening right now.
Better airstrike already being used up just to clear some of these waves.
They just back
up
away.
Top, but they're not going to be doing all too much. They're baiting the ultimate coming in from Opuyan for the moment. And now, here goes a little bit push and pull. Yam goes in with Black Dragon form, circling all over the place as they are hoping to secure a little bit more, but he's getting caught out already. Nothing much that he could have done. But Leo Murphy leading the charge over the lower side, and it will be pretty much Paul as well as Koopa just sending out the wolves out there to just try to do damage, but they can only defend as much as they could.
I think Yam could have afforded the death anyways. For the trade here, for the lower, for the bottom lane tier 3 turret, that's fine. I'll take it.
I mean, it's bad in a sense that he has a kill streak on him. The gold is way higher, and that's going to be the rubber band mechanic.
That's right, and you're giving a little bit of leeway for 10 seconds Gaming Frost to maybe, just maybe, have a big item purchase in that sort of sense. And now without much of that objectives, you're killing every single thing that they can. But we look in towards the itemizations here. Of course, there's a whole lot to tell. Papa has already got the Blade of Despair. A couple of axes being bought here from Yam as well as himself from Papa. But any sort of things that is interesting coming from these builds?
Yeah, no, Chelly Boy is just one full item away from the 6 item lock build. But hold up. Oh, Feathered Airstrike in here. That's going to be Leo Murphy in trouble. Smart Missiles abound. Sheena knocks him out. In goes Yam, the menace from Indonesia.
The damage.
Oh, he gets a double. He's pushing them in. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a 3-for-1. Leo Murphy says, worth it.
Oh, Koro here still wants to get the retribution, but not the literal retribution. But you know what? You just wanted to get revenge for that certain area. But Koro will go down. Chelly Boy is here. Papa, the last man standing. Will he defend this?
And it looks like it will be the game being secured by Alter Ego Esports in game number 1. And wow, so many back and forths. But Alter Ego have awakened the dragon in this scenario.
My goodness. Boys, that definitely was a very interesting game 1 here. It was going 50-50 for a large majority of that game until the breaking point. That 8 minutes, especially with that big team fight up on that top side. Yikes. I mean, Alter Ego finding new footing.
I think at 8 minutes, the writing was on the wall. Signs of where we're showing at around 5 to 6 minutes already.
I think it's a good sign for the side of 10S Gaming Frost that they controlled Leo Murphy in the early game. They put control on Leo Murphy, and as the panel has said earlier, they adjust fast. They adjust fast. So maybe in game number 2, we'd see something better from them? Who knows?
Better, I think, you know, this is the time where 10 seconds is most comfortable. They do it, and this is part of their inbuilt nature to naturally adapt to the situation. They have to figure out a solution. They don't have a lot of time to do it, but I have faith that they need to be able to get on their toes. However, on Alter Ego's side, they also know this. This could be the counter play to the counter play if they keep changing it up.
I don't know, mind games can only go so far, and I think they've already played the surprise. Yam can actually do well, but we need Cassius on board. I'm looking forward to see if this is a one-time thing, because if ever Alter Ego does sweep 10 seconds gaming here, I'm feeling it right now. It's in my body. The possibility, it's right there. Then yo, the rest of the lower bracket better look out.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Indonesian side have definitely rejoiced seeing this side of Alter Ego. Just like their name, you have not seen this part of Alter Ego in such a way that, you know, if you put a different player on board, you got that element of surprise, and, well, they definitely put on a show.
Well, in their logo, they have 3 faces.
Oh!
So that means this could be the last face on that logo.
Maybe
They
just a second.
Then
at this
maybe, yeah. I mean, the first one, they have Ahmad. Second one is with Yam and the main 4. And the third one...
You know what? It makes sense though, I
Right?
mean, if you have the anime protagonist in 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, Alter Ego be the boss with like multiple phases, with multiple life bars.
They're literally the antagonists. And honestly, I would consider them, I mean, these guys are the big bad boys that everybody really is just unsure how to deal with. Because again, losing on those 1v1s, being able to make sure that, you know, Leo Murphy isn't going to shut you down in the river, giving that important information. And more importantly, I mean, with the way that they drafted initially, that scaling towards the end, they made it seem so quick by mid-game.
Yeah, and I felt like in certain sort of scenarios, they kind of did not expect the amount of damage that could be put out from the side of Alter Ego Esports as well. They were trying to shoving their sides to be able to get their sort of picks, coming with those early further airstrike, but this Yuzong does not care. He just crashes through everything and finds his pick easily.
Okay, with that being said, that's going to be enough from us at the caster's desk. I'm really got a lot of questions, so we have to ask the professionals. Let's throw it over to the analysts, LaFell and Wolf.
No deal, no problem, says Alter Ego. My name is Wolf and I'm with LaFell. We will be your analyst tackling about that match. I kind of thought that it would be a weird draft from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. That's what I first saw. And then when they executed, it started really strong.
Yeah.
But then it really went downhill. I think that the power spike that Alter Ego Esports played around with, it was perfect. The understanding was great. But how about you, LaFell? What do you think about that match?
I completely agree about the
Yeah.
draft. That really secured it for the game, just because
Yeah.
we can definitely see what Alter Ego wanted to do.
Yeah.
But when we saw what 10 Second Gaming want to do, the thing is, it's not balanced. That's one of the issues, where before this, we definitely see a very heavy mage comp. But let's look at when they pick which. Number
Yeah,
one, they pick Kagura first,
Yeah.
which I feel like they could pick a little bit later.
Yeah.
And if we saw Alter Ego's draft, it's mostly on burst heavy damage heroes, and it's very consistent from the early game
Yeah.
up until the late game, which
Yeah.
it's you know, they lost the draft.
Love that you talked about the timing on when you pick these heroes, because I always feel like there's a certain difference between a lineup and a draft, where the lineup is just the straight up 5 heroes and then the draft is like the order
Exactly.
of picks. And the way that they drafted was really, I would say, it was admirable, but it's kind of mistaken, because they went in for the Kagura first phase
Exactly.
pick, which is, in a way, it's a flex pick. I think that they are trying to say to Alter Ego that, okay, we're going to try this in the mid lane or the side lane. But if you look at the history of 10 Seconds Game Frost, it's definitely on the side lanes. They know what will happen. And I think that they were forced to pick up the Harley at last second. I think that this is probably because of the fact that Alter Ego forced them to do so. They banned Hayabusa in second phase, and there was really not much that you can get out of it. So many mages, I would say, magic damage coming out from 10 Seconds Game Frost, which I thought that would be very strong in the early stages, which it was. But when Chelly Boy went online, as well as Yam,
Oh yeah,
was
Yam.
when
We should
the-
talk about that. Where Yam during the group stages he didn't really perform that well, but now I think this is the playoff buff.
Yeah.
Like the moment they get on stage,
Yeah.
they just really feeling themselves. But right now, let's look at itemization between both teams to really see what did well and what did wrong. But again, to mostly look at the draft again. Now, looking at the side of 10-second Gaming Frost, one of the items that I was actually looking for was a Genius One, where with the Harley, it can reduce a lot of magic resistance. However, over here, we can definitely see that none of that is available here. They have the traditional Lightning Truncheon, and we can definitely see that Koro, using the Kagura, was on the way with the Holy Crystal. Sure, it can deliver some bursts, but it's a little bit too late.
And speaking of important items, count this with me. 1, 2, 3, and 4 Athena's shields on the side of Alter Ego Esports. This is telegraphed because you know that there are 3 magic damage dealers coming out from 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. And obviously you want to itemize well against
Exactly.
them. That is the problem when you focus too much on one aspect of damage dealing. When you go so much on the physical, of course the Antikyras will be perfect for you, and the Athena shield as well. 4 of them being controlled by Alter Ego Esports. That is why you felt in the mid stages of the game, around the 6-minute, 8-minute mark, there's really not much damage coming out from 10 Seconds Gaming Frost already. Do take note that in, I would say this was a patch about 3 months or 4
Yes.
months ago. There were changes on both the Athena
Exactly.
shield and the Antikyras were in. They were more focused on being defensive on specific ones. So they got stronger. I mean, Athena shield got stronger against magic damage, but kind of weaker when it comes to physical as compared to before. So it's more on specialization.
Yeah, I appreciate that you brought that up because that's exactly the point over here, which punishes a lot of this heavy physical, heavy mage, where usually what we want to see if they're trying to put on a very heavy magic composition is they have one specific hyper carry marksman that scales
Right.
super well from the mid game up until the late game. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But in this situation, the only physical damaging hero besides Popol and Koopa is the Lapu Lapu, and the Lapu Lapu as well is more of a frontline kind of hero. He doesn't deal a lot of DPS.
Yeah, he's more like a burst. And I think that it can also be played an assassin like what Yam did previously. There was a big snipe on the Claude.
Yeah.
And with one combo, that's amazing. But unfortunately, that really isn't enough. It should have more. Now, the MVP of the match, play of Yam, I'd say.
I think that this is without question. No one will be like, hey, why is Yam the MVP? 10, 1, and 6. And did you see every single time Yuzong comes in with the Black Dragon form and then using the Dragon Tail, the burst damage was too much. And that is another thing that we actually have to look at 10-second Gaming Frost's draft, where again, Alter Ego, they have a lot of bursts, and the heroes that they chose have relatively low HP, which makes it very, very difficult for them, as well as it will look very good with a hero like Yuzong that has a lot of burst damage.
Well, you know what? I think that it is very important to take note of the movements and the rotations of Yam on this Yuzong. This is probably one of his best performances all throughout M2, and he was more, I would say, in sync with his teammates compared to before. In this particular game, I saw during the 4-minute mark, was there for the team fight. During the 6-minute mark, the most crucial one for Alter Ego Esports, they were able to get what, 4? They were able to trade like 4-2, or
Yeah.
it was a very positive trade for Alter Ego Esports because Yam was able to just pierce through the backlines with the Dragon form, which is great. And not only that, he was able to maximize the Dragon Tail, and the damage was there.
Speaking of Yam, this game we have Cassius, and our Cassius, they talk about, okay, maybe they brought in Cassius to really bring Yam in to the forefront, and I think that might be true, because let's look at the differences between Cassius and Udil. Udil is more of a stationary mage where he likes those low mobility heroes, but a lot of bursts as well as a lot of control, while Cassius, we can see that he's very active in the map. He moves around a lot, and I think that really, really helped out Yam, where he doesn't have to stay in his own lane. He has the mid lane heroes helping him out in the early stages of the game, and then once he feels very comfortable, comfortable, I will do what I need to do to win this game for my team, and that's what happened.
Well, that is very interesting because I figure the casters also talked about the fact that this is like the third identity of Alter Ego Esports, at least here in the M2 World Championships. And unfortunately for side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, they might not be ready for this third identity for Alter Ego. That is very scary. You know what, LaFell? We still have plenty of more action. Hopefully this is not the last for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, but let's find out, however, as we bring it back to the casters.
Thank you so much for our analysts for giving a bit more in-depth look into this particular game. And we're also, with that being said, we would also like to thank Toomey for being the partner in esports for M2. As the journey to become the champions of M2 has been perfected with the latest Toomey luggage and backpack, you can bring your gear anywhere with you safely without worry. Be sure to check out Toomey.com to perfect your own journey and enjoy the M2 competition.
An established distributor of many well-loved consumer brands in Asia, SUTL Group is the proud 2021 MLBB partner in esports for Fiji Water, Hchong IT's Cup, and Mountain Dew. To find out more, visit www.sutl.com.
Now, guys, don't miss out all the action. This is only day one of the playoffs. There's so much more to it, but you can be catching the live stream of this mega event, Mobile Legends BangBang M2 World Championships 2020, being held in Singapore for free on MeWatch from the 18th to the 24th of January. A total of 12 teams from 9 countries, including EVOS SG from Singapore, competing for 300,000 USD. So support Team SG in the playoffs as they will be playing through much later on. But focusing on this, welcome back, boys. The cast absolutely insane with how much action was happening on screen. But what should we expect for Game 2?
Well, we've already seen a lot of all these cards being shown from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost that is pretty much of the same sort of repetition coming back and towards the playoffs. So the question is there any more of these picks that they could possibly pull out of the bag? Because we see the bans are all pretty much targeted. Like, they say, hey, Popoku plus nothing if I could just take out your Hayabusas and the rest. And there's an underlying problem, which I'm pretty sure even Leo has a lot to say about.
Yeah, which spells disaster here for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. I mean, it had to take them the same lineup to eliminate RSG, right? Like, they had to play kind of the same 5 or close to it to be able to eliminate one half of the Singaporean coalition still in the playoffs at that point, or in the running for the playoffs, right? So against a team like Alter Ego now, which, again, lo and behold, the logo makes sense, right? Like 3 phases, 3 types of big old baddie in the MLBB esports scene. I do believe that right here, right now, for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, if they have any cards to show, bring them out. But for Alter Ego, they can put their feet up. Like, this is the best shape we've seen them in a long time.
I'm trying to see it in a new perspective, why they put Cassius in. I think it was stated by Ducky earlier that they really adapt well. They can adapt to Odile, but never for Cassius. They did not know what Cassius is going to bring to the table.
I like that X factor. I mean, honestly, with Cassius, especially since even when we saw the lineup, it said, oh, this is his debut, no info.
We were even shocked that that happened. So, yeah, I think Alter Ego thought about it. Hey, they adjust well. Put Cassius in.
Yeah, and of course, some of the Matilda plays definitely contributed as well in this review process. And now that we've already seen, like, he has been able to activate not only Yem, but everyone else. Now, of course, we definitely have a lot of good news because we got a lot of goodies. We can predict the champions.
Yep, I mean, today we are pleased to announce the launch of the new anniversary season of Magic Chess Blazing Harbor. The new adventure will officially begin on January the 30th. New upgrading systems, the blessings, the new little commanders and map, all synergies revamped, and a free trial of the advanced skins waiting for you. So log in on the 30th battle night to claim your free permanent skin. So, with that being said, Aaron, you do bring up a couple of really interesting points here. But the real question remains whether or not the draft is going to change here, either for Alter Ego side or 10 Seconds. And if so, which direction is it going to lead to?
Two possibilities, I think.
Two possibilities?
Let me answer the question, Contra.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Two possibilities for one simple question. Will the draft change? One, drastically. We might see 10 Seconds Gaming Frost just let go of the whole Popol and Koopa thing. No more mega magic artillery firepower lineup, because again, just build an Athena's shield. As long as there's no Esmeralda on the other side, you're fine. The other way around this could go is they revert to their Tigreal, Yusun Shin, Claude, Lancelot, and they try to do something that they're not good at compared to MPL teams, compared to MPL region competitors. So don't do that. So I'm guessing it's got to be somewhere in between. It's got to be somewhere they're comfortable.
But you have to give it to Alter Ego Esports. They're not giving the comfort heroes here for the side of 10S Gaming
Exactly.
Frost. Because when you think about it, is it really 10S Gaming Frost's decision to go for that mage setup?
No.
Or were they forced into the ropes and just, you know what, let's just pick this, let's think that it'll work, let's make it work, and it didn't happen for them.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of half and half as well, because what you point out was true. We saw how many Athena were actually being brought out in that game just to counter all these magic damage, and they definitely need a fine balance in the draft.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with Butters here and also with Aaron. I mean, again, they were pushed into that corner, and it's so easy to itemize, especially when it's up against magic damage. But let's look here. 10 Seconds Gaming Frost going to be starting off with the Esmeralda and as well as the Natalia, while Alter Ego have already banned out the Brody. Interesting point here. 10 Seconds Gaming Frost opting to go on the blue side. We saw in group stages, they like to kind of just maintain on that red.
Yeah, and because I hope you agree with me too, Gideon. I want to hear that delayed.
Okay.
Leo, you too. Leo, you too.
What about me?
What about me? I see
exactly,
left out.
Exactly. The only reason why I think they got trapped into this whole all magic type situation, all magic lineup, is they really wanted the Hayabusa. Something tells me that Nasi Uduk read into it and said, boys, sweep him at the leg, take out the Hayabusa, because I think that's really what they wanted to do. And if they had the Hayabusa, the last pick Farsa would not possibly have been a Farsa. Might have been something else.
You know what, Leo? I agree with you. There's that delay you've been
Thank
waiting
you.
for. But, okay, so there's also that big point about that comfort of the Yishun Shin. Remember that? I mean, like, Hayabusa, Yishun Shin, two things that, 10 Seconds Gaming feel very comfortable with. And I think Alter Ego, kind of being on that red side, it's going to be interesting because 10 Seconds Gaming want to take advantage of blue and that first pick. So, Sylvana being banned out, what happens next here, Contra?
Well, we still got
go ahead.
things like the jaw hit as well. Remember that could actually pop up, but now they're target banning this Roger right here. Do you feel it's actually necessary?
I think it's a setup. Because if Alter Ego bans out the Yisun Shin, then they'll have less heroes for the mid lane. The jungle, rather. So what happens now is Alter Ego, they might be thinking of just banning out another hero, then just give 10S Gaming Frost the Hayabusa so that they have access to the Yisun Shin.
So it's a gambit. It's a trade.
It's a trade.
I know that you're gonna get something, but I'll just do my best to get something better in return. Oh, by the way, Benedetta is still out there. And Jawhead!
They might do it. They might not.
That's what the 2 here is open for.
And they just go for the Matilda.
Oh no!
It's a trade.
Wow, a whole lot of options out there. Now that they've also taken out the Matilda. But the first pick here, we mentioned the Hayabusa being something of a staple, as well as the Yishun Shin. One or the other, and you have to give a lot of other sort of power picks over on towards Alter Ego with that double selection coming in.
Yeah, not here. I don't think. Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say the Hayabusa doesn't come first pick, but of course you have to consider that the Jawhead, the Benedetta is still out there, the Farsa is still out there. There's so many. Luoyi is still out there.
I'm still thinking Alter Ego Esports can just go Yisun Shin and Benedetta and just go wild.
I mean, at this point, Benedetta is still up on the table. It's like such a staple to pick it up. The question is whether Alter Ego right now want to lock in their core or flex something that could go into the off lane, or more likely so because the Roger has been taken out, so you can't really necessarily flex jungle core.
I mean, Alter Ego, they're a team that would just go for it because they can do it. They can pull it off.
The confidence.
True enough.
Why not?
They're that confident.
Because why not?
Because why not, right? You can get the best scores. You can get the best damage dealers. So
There
now
it is.
they just go for it.
That's
they just go for it.
Exactly what it is.
Best case scenario coming in for Alter Ego Esports. Like, we've seen this sort of way that they've set things up perfectly. Now, just in response, of course, they've got the Jawhead that definitely works well for the early game sort of invades as well as all sort of pokes. So what comes next after that?
Well, I personally think that what comes next is usually, okay, we got to get that Lapu Lapu, get something strong in towards the side lane. Unless 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, this could be a big tell with those offlaners, because you've already got that power flex pick with the Jawhead. They lock it in. There's the Lapu Lapu. There's the Hayabusa.
There you go.
I like the answer coming out here for the blue side. Clearly, they want to put another hero that's going to be good on Obuyan. Probably they could make the most out of the certain Eudora Jawhead tandem that they've been doing.
Burst him.
Just burst him.
Yeah.
If you catch someone, just burst him.
I think whether it's a Eudora or not will have to be considered and, put up neck and neck with whatever this last pick is and whatever the bans look like. It's because I think Obuyan, this makes the Eudora almost a non-starter. Like, I don't think so. This makes it difficult to consider. Unless it's a Purify Eudora.
Yeah, there's this
Still a little
two
bit tricky,
sides. Yeah, it's
but
still a bit tricky,
doable.
but there are two sides to the Eudora. If the enemy team really just wants to go for the engage and they don't go wholeheartedly, you can just punish them with the electric arrow.
Yep.
I mean, sure. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree in these situations. And here's why. Because Cho, one of those starters, yes, Eudora may not necessarily be the greatest in the world. I mean, level 1's definitely great. Point and click, the electric arrow, absolutely fine. But I personally think that they are missing out on that, that support section. And both sides are missing out on that support section, which means the last 4 bans are going to be magic damage-based heroes. I think Alter Ego could have easily left Cho up, gone for something like a Lo Yi, and say, hey, you got a Jawhead, no worries, I clear waves so fast, you don't have time to respond.
Yeah, and with that, there's going to be a lot more access on some of all these picks. And you just look at the ban list itself, you see Kagura, Matila way earlier on as well. So a couple of things that's still being left out is perhaps maybe Farsa is actually going to be good in this sort of scenario.
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
Harith, Luloyi, Lunox. These are all still out there waiting to be activated. And just the same, I'm not counting out just maybe one support or one mage and then maybe another marksman for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. Although we haven't seen them do just that just yet. Like, I haven't seen like a 1-1 come out of them.
1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. I don't think I would expect to see 1-1 in a case like this, especially when you see something like a Hayabusa, for an example, unless you're really forced into it or you're trying to dominate one of the offlaners, which I think, Lapu Lapu is one of the very few who can say, yeah, sure, you're great at level 1, but overall, I don't really care. I don't really care most of the time because I can clear it from a safe distance.
I'm a great hero as well.
Oh.
I don't care. I'm a great hero as well.
Yeah.
Lapu 2021.
Yuzhong has been relatively ignored, like just literally ignored. Yuzhong's still on the board here.
It could be the pickup here for 10S Gaming Frost, but that would leave Hayabusa holding on to the responsibility of the late game.
Very
It would be
much so.
hard.
Very, very much so.
And
There
they
he
just ban
is.
it out. They just ban it out.
They heard. Yam, don't even.
Makes sense. I honestly, it totally makes sense in these situations here. And I think, coming in, especially with Alter Ego, getting that first pick, at least now they can, look to try to counterpick for that support section. Right now, they are really lacking in that wave clear. Loyi is looking mighty fine. Farsa is looking mighty fine.
One or the other, I definitely think that the Loyi is going to be an interesting spot, especially with a very high mobility setup coming in from the side of Alter Ego Esports. So, Farsa would be looking pretty good for Alter Ego Esports.
I think it's one of those where it's like wings by wings in comparison to the diversion. You can make the play with the diversion. It looks real cool. It looks real flashy. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, Jawhead jumps at me. I'm going to die.
This is a Yam Khalid.
Yeah, this is going to be a Yam Khalid, but one of the weaknesses that we can see from Alter Ego's draft is it's the opposite of what 10S Gaming Frost did at game number 1. They are all physical damage. With these 4 picks, they just put it in a way that a brute force breastplate would be great, an antique cuirass, So the itemization is going to be great for the side of Tennis Gaming.
Oh, wow. Here comes the
whoa,
Nacho.
Whoa,
They just
whoa.
put out a couple.
Whoa.
The couple of MLBB,
No.
ladies and gentlemen.
This is making my Kokoro go Doki Doki, yo.
I mean,
It's Kokoro.
Kokoro, that's what I said. Go Doki Doki.
It's very Sugoi.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Isn't
Okay.
Obuyan married? Isn't he married?
He is.
Well, you gotta put out all the love story that you can get, or else there's no more to tell right after this match.
This is what we were talking about, right? Like, when there's nothing to lose and everything to gain, you just pull out all the stops.
Wow.
I haven't seen this combination since like I was playing ranked like months ago.
I mean, it took, honestly, I wasn't even expecting it at all. Carmilla has just been a non-starter almost ever in most drafts. You only see it once or twice. And finally, Alter Ego pick up the far side. I guess they wanted to have some reassurance playing that far side and saved it for that last pick. I mean, 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, they could have taken it away. But instead, this is going to be real interesting.
Yeah. Well-rounded draft for Alter Ego Esports. Like, it's very hard to say anything bad about it. Like, it's solid. But for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, I think the question of will Sheena have all the responsibility for late game, the answer is no, because Obuyan scales infinitely.
Wow. Just knowing the fact that you can definitely set up quite a interesting sort of team comp position to go in towards these team fights. We'll be looking out for that sort of waltz that will be brought out in the Land of Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
Carmilla kind of helps in terms of the early damage. Like the ultimate will help Hayabusa deal more damage to the enemy team. But for Alter Ego Esports, it's a pretty standard draft. And when we see standard for these kinds of Indonesian teams like Alter Ego, they just do well.
I mean, it's really going to come down to the macro game. With that being said, boys, you guys are going to have a good time. I wish I was Castanino, but now it is up to you. Take it away.
Well, game 2, 10 Seconds Gaming Frost needs to find a way to equalize, or they will be sent back home in the playouts run in the lower brackets. Leo Murphy already going in for a little bit of a buff invade, seeing nobody right there, so not much could possibly come out of this sort of section. But the Khalid versus Lapu Lapu situation is going to be interesting, but Buyan already sucking a little bit too much in the early phase.
Something to note here, actually, it's Sevnia as a tank. This is Tank Carmilla, and we have seen once more, we were mentioning it earlier, the return of fighter Jawhead. That's Koro in a side lane Jawhead.
Well, this is definitely going to be very interesting because we've seen so many different variations of it. Oh, what a dive coming from Yam. He is on a take of health. He does get one for Alter Ego Esports, but eventually he will give one back towards the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost.
He wasted so much time there for the side of Tennis Gaming Frost. They chased him down, and a lot of these turrets are pushing over to the side of Alter Ego Esports.
Boots being purchased right there, and this 1-for-1 exchange definitely favors Alter Ego Esports in that sort of sense, where, of course, wasting time is equaling to wasting resources. Speaking of resources here, a little bit invade coming from Leo Murphy, and he won't be able to jack the buff away at the moment. Flame Shot does not connect towards Sheena.
All right, not even 2 minutes in, and it's already pretty clear what Alter Ego Esports is doing. It seems like the name of the game is to make sure Sheena doesn't have a good time.
Yeah, indeed. And you just look at it. Yam's going to be coupling up with Leo Murphy to be setting this one. Oh, Obuyan, he's got to make a run for his life as they are trying to catch Sevnia, but over the back, it's going to be Koro. Koro might just be able to catch it now. Great flicker as they will burn him down.
Leo Murphy knows who the target is, but Alter Ego Esports, they get Shelly Boy taken down. Papa is here fighting for that turtle, and Sheena will get the turtle.
Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, what a turnaround! And there's the Ogi shadow kill. Misses one onto Pi. Oh, Pi just survived with literally 1 HP, close to 1 HP, if
A
not.
sliver of HP.
Yeah, and like he could have possibly
A grain of sand.
Yeah, he could just
Yeah,
throw a little bit of speck of that dust of sand and get that sort of kill, but of course, missing out the opportunity. He has to look for another. In terms of kills, you can definitely see as much as 10 Seconds Gaming is ahead. Oh my goodness. You can see all the ults already being expended. And away of the dragon to connect towards Apoyan. There's no way he can even run out of that. Even the flame shot has been expended, but that is not necessary at all. And it's Alter Ego with the equalizer.
Alter Ego knows that punishing Sheena will be very hard, will be really hard. So they put a lot of time into just shutting down Obuyan. If Obuyan is the late game insurance, then just make him earn it.
Oh yeah, and now they're trading. Ladies and gentlemen, off camera almost we missed it, but Koro taken out here. And Shelly Boy still very, very confident despite falling in the early game. Sitting at 1-1-1. I can say already, Contra, Butters, this game is much more competitive than game number 1. Like, this is already neck and neck. And again, we did mention earlier, at around 4 or 5 minutes, the writing was on the wall. This time, as long as Sheena keeps doing this and Obuyan scales, I think we're going to see something good. We're going to go into, like, what? 20 minutes?
Probably 20 over minutes right here.
Woo!
Because this is the game plan coming from the side of 10 Seconds Game Frost. And a couple of times, Leo Murphy might have committed a little bit of a slight mistakes, but it doesn't really matter all too much. And Leo Murphy's just buying a lot more time right here. Well, his axe already been purchased, and as much as he falls, it doesn't really benefit anyone as he tries to get himself out of the safety. Fairy airstrike does connect with Cassius, giving his life. And OG shall connect. And with Papa coming in for back though, they're going to be pulling all the way backwards because they can't contest this anymore.
They use so much resource for Leo Murphy that when it's time to go for the clash, they don't have anything left in the tank.
Yep, and that's what we're looking at here in the early to mid. In the late though, I think 1 or 2 hits from Obuyan's bat impact will be fine. So that's what I'm waiting for right here. And of course, it's right, he does pick up the Purify here, and that would mean good things for the Moonlit Waltz with Sevnia going in, and he's taking a few hits here. Oh, Turtle already started up here. Where is the key player? Where is Sheena? Oh, I think he wants his purple first.
Oh boy, and speaking of which, it's going to be Alter Ego that secures it, but they have been able to catch out Obuyan with the Electo. And with that, 3 members go out in the blink of an eye. Alter Ego Esports, they don't even have the jaw hit anywhere around. It's hard to even contest.
They had a clear miscommunication there. Obuyan, he activated his ultimate quite early. He really wanted to fight. But the problem was Alter Ego was there. They were set up. Leo Murphy here just doing the Leo Murphy things that he does.
Yeah, it does seem like a non-starter given that Bat's Feast actually heals Obuyan. So what they do here is they click the ult and then, Pai just jumps in. That's Cassius just blowing him up with the Feathered Airstrike. Like, the lifesteal is not significant at all. Not yet.
At par.
Not
at
yet.
par.
Yeah, at 6 minutes, if there's that many people blasting you, it's not going to work out. So right now, slowly, Alter Ego Sports is making their way through the map. And again, now, earlier wasn't the case. But this time, again, this is shades of Game 1. 6 minutes in, and that's going to be 1 push for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, but 3 for Alter Ego Esports. And wow, Yam is just pressuring Papa.
Yeah, and they already have a 3-man setup over on towards this side, and Sheena has already arrived at the scene, so maybe they might need to force a move at the moment. Gonna be kicking up Papa up in the air, but Leo Murphy playing with fire right there. There's not gonna be overcommitment coming from 10 Seconds Gaming Frost as of the moment. Reverse breastplate already having it being appeared on the sub cam.
It takes so much effort for 10S Gaming Frost just to push Alter Ego back. It takes 5 people to just have this advantage, but that's going to be Hayabusa going down. Papa here forced to use the flicker. Obuyan and the others can't do much.
Either way, it's worth it. You take down Sheena, you do that over and over again, and you start going for the choke slowly, and that's going to be mission accomplished. Shelly Boy has, I believe, 2 purple buffs, and that's more than he needs, but less for Sheena.
Speaking of which, we've already seen another attempt out towards Turtle, and Alter Ego absolutely zoning them off, but the Wayward Dragon already connects, and Carl gets popped off. Leo Murphy is absolutely controlling this entirety of the game with Sevnia trying to pull this back towards his team's favor, but Yam cutting from the back as well. He sets up the Electo on towards Sevnia. This does not look good. It might just be another mega kill for Yam.
Yam just showing up and bringing his A game here on the first series of our playoffs. He's been doing everything on point.
Ya boy Yam, he slept on the right side of bed. He woke up, he had a great dream. He dreamt of hoisting up that M2 World Championship trophy, and today he's manifesting, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's gonna be one taken out. Leo Murphy, a little too deep.
Yeah, he definitely tried to force a little bit of these sort of moves coming from the side of 10 Seconds Giving Frost, but they were pretty much well prepared, and there's no point for him to just go so deep in towards the base itself. And let's have a little bit of a look of the itemization at the moment.
Looking at Pai right now, he isn't even forced to go for a defensive item. He just went straight for that Heptasis. While Obuyan here, he only has the Lightning Truncheon. That is not good 8 minutes in if you are a mid lane that had a certain minion creep just given to you. The priority is there, and right now Yam gets punished.
Oh, that face tech definitely doing pretty badly for their side, but they are trying to return the favor with the Raging Sandstorm already being expended, and that definitely calls for a little bit of a reset going on. 9 minutes on the clock, and we are seeing perhaps certain decent traits coming from the side of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, but they haven't really found that answer in towards these routine fights where they really have to find a way to stop Yam, and by doing so, they just get some choke points being set up. But having the Lord being up online definitely going to be pretty interesting.
Yep, already 9 minutes in. It's going to be difficult here for Obuyan to scale. Butters was saying, man, if at this point all you have is the Winter Truncheon, then you're chugging along. Lightning Truncheon. Okay, if anything, I was hoping it was a Winter Truncheon because
save him. That could save him.
That could save him. So if you need to be defensive, you do that. But right now, no contest at all. Not even 10 minutes in, they get the first Lord. Siege minions enhanced. That's going to be Lord crashing down either through mid. I think mid is the way to go here. That's going to be opening up your main artery. It's going to be difficult for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost to defend, to recover, to come back. And if the name of the game for them is to stay in this as long as possible, then all the more it's going to seem impossible. All right, well, I think if it's all, then you just pick either the most pushed in or the weakest turret or something random, so that's what it is.
But but then again, everything is just pushed into the side of 10S Gaming Frost.
Exactly. It's a bad situation. It's a bad look for 10S.
Yeah, we're looking at the macro situation side of things that they have to juggle either or for this sort of the positions of the base. And they spot an eye on towards Yam. This might be looking to be relatively interesting as the fight is about to erupt right here. They do get a little bit of the sun over on side of Yam, but it will be Papa that commits towards Pai. And Koro, he's clearing up the mid side. This is looking relatively tough here for them to just take out. So they do get the Lord down on the ground, but still not much of an answer coming from this side of Alter Ego.
Not bad. They do get the defense, and so far Alter Ego Esports, they're taking their time because I believe they can. They have taken the 6-minute mark up until to this point, and that's Leo Murphy from the back. Taking quite a few hits.
Wow.
Definitely the first casualty. Leo Murphy pops the immortality, and that's going to be Papa destroyed by Chelly Boy, trading out for 1. It's 2 for 1 with the top lane being taken here by Yam. Again, who is this man? We did not see him in the group stage.
Yam here just playing on another level, and as we can see, Sheena there trying to go for that shadow kill, but I don't think it was really intended to deal damage or to take down anyone. It was for the minions so that they can just push it back without having the trouble of just being present at that moment.
And we could definitely see that Cassius here really goes in for that perfect setup on that point in time, and with that, it just gives so much space for the side of Yam to be enabled, going for those sort of dives. And even though they did trade a pretty much an exchange over on towards that section for a 2-for-1, but they still open up the top side. So great news is that, you know, a minute and a half, we're going to be seeing the Luminous Lord coming into play. Matter Airstrike already being popped up, and it's just Papa all the way back.
Yep, I think what Cassius was doing there was baiting out the ults. So if they could have made the Unstoppable Force come in, force out possibly an out-of-place Ogi shadow kill, or even maybe Obuyan with, again, very reactive Bat's Feast. But right now, looks like Way of the Dragon being started up here. Oh, it's going to be Santa Claus throwing in Leo Murphy. They lose the Cho.
But Yami's coming in as well with Electo, but he is getting taken to less than 50%. Not looking all too shabby for an exchange from the side of 10 seconds. But they know that they cannot pursue any further. There's not much that they could possibly get out of it. And after losing Leo Murphy, they know, okay, this is a halt right here that we need to take.
Okay, so Obuyan here has the dominance ice. He realized that he needs extra defensive defensive stats here against the lineup for the side of Alter Ego Esports.
You put Obuyan in defense position.
Yeah, and Sevnia here, he's gonna go for another item just probably to make him extra tanky. But for Obuyan, it's not really the best thing to just go for pure magic damage right now. You need to help your team. You need to divide the responsibility in terms of taking the damage.
Oh, this is a double setup coming in from the side of Alter Ego Esports. They're making sure that the Benedetta stays busy, shoving that wave all the way on towards the lower side of the map, and Leo Murphy knows that he's inside of the bush, so no point to commit. But OG Shadow Kill on towards the corner, and Yam actually cuts out of it alive.
That was what, 2 ults used onto Yam and he just walks away?
I mean, magnificent. Straight up magnificent.
I give it a 10.
I give it a 10 as well.
I give it 11 if I may.
Oh, so that makes it 31.
Oh, 31.
Quick
Okay,
maths.
quick math.
Oh, quick Lord take as well. Chelly Boy not even blinking. That's going to be the assault started up
Leo
by
Murphy.
Alter Ego. Oh, Leo Murphy not even
Let go.
thinking twice for this engagement. Now into the back
Oh
corner gets
my
destroyed. Cassius
goodness.
takes him down. That's going to be an Ogi Shadow kill, but they're spreading out the damage. This is great for Alter Ego.
Looking absolutely perfect. They're not even taken off yet. All 5 members intact. They might just be able to close up the game right here, right now. And the Luminous Lord is marching in from where they have an open wound over on the top side. Now, Alter Ego, one last push, and they might just be able to catch up Papa. Better airstrike. They take it out there into play. But Pi as well as Hellboy, they are being hurt. But of course, Leo Murphy will still have immortality. He does kick Zephania straight in towards the team. The Lord has arrived. This might just be game right here. Alter Ego securing their way and towards the next stages of the playoffs.
Their run won't end here, but unfortunately for Tennis Gaming Frost, our team for Japan, this is the end of the road.
Ah, that hurts to see. It does hurt to see. But you got to congratulate Alter Ego. These boys, they played a clean game. It took a little bit more effort than they should have, even though they had a huge lead. But you got to give the 10 Seconds Gaming absolute units, machines, when they are on the defense and forced into their corner.
I still think it was a great effort by 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. And again, in the face of the bad boys of MLBB Esports here, Alter Ego, there's only so much you can expect. There's only so much as underdogs you can hope for.
I like the Carmela and Sicilian pick, but adding more complexity in your win conditions against a team that you haven't really won against in the past won't help you.
Yep. Don't try to reinvent the wheel mid-race.
And they tried their hardest in that sort of way just to go a little bit out of the box to just pull in a back of surprise. But, you know, Alter Ego, with the multifacets that they have, you just look at Case's impact in this final match between these two sides, and look what they did to him. Look at how Yam could just go in to catch him off with some great electos out there. And that final fight was too hard for them to take.
Yeah, I mean, the goalie was just way too much. It was already pushing into 13K, and I think at that point, you are just putting extra nails into the coffin just for fun. But an honorable defeat there. And again, to all the Japanese fans out there watching and cheering for 10 Seconds Gaming, our hearts go out to y'all. They are going to be knocked out. But for the rest of the nation of Indonesia, Indo Pride, as they continue to push on every step of the way.
This is the second time that 10S Gaming made it to the playoffs. And a lot of people aren't expecting much. But for them, this is something that they should be proud of.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ever, I'm proud of Obuyan. as a coach, as the founder of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, and as a professional in the scene for about 4 years now, this is his second time at World Championships for Mobile Legends. I don't think this is the last time we're going to be seeing them.
I got a feeling that he might just make another appearance into M3 or hopefully another major that will be coming up soon. And with that, there's a lot more to say, but there's going to be the analysts on deck to be waiting for the breakdown itself. So let's take it away, LaFell and Wolf.
Thank you so much, casters. That is the end of the line for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, unfortunately. But Alter Ego, well played. I think that there's a lot of issues in the draft, so let's talk about it. My name is Wolf, and I'm with LaFell. Man, you know what? A very quick summary of what I think happened in there was 10 Seconds Gaming Frost really trying to be so creative to the point that it kind of bit them in the end. I didn't like how it turned out in the draft. As much hyped as it is to have the Carmilla and Sicilian, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and I like that all of the panelists, including casters as well us as the analysts, we do agree with that. You don't need to add complicity to your own draft. And the thing is, it's very, very easy for Alter Ego to know what they have to do. Hayabusa, if he is down in the early game, if Sicilian could not get the stacks, then it's going to be a very difficult game. And Yam, again, he's really stepping up in this playoffs. He went to the red buff in the early game, and that really messed up the entire rotation for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost.
Yeah, maybe the problem that I have with this kind of complexity coming out from 10 Seconds Gaming Frost is that you kind of forget a lot of fundamentals. For example, the Yisun Shin and Benedetta first pick, I did not see an answer. I think, well, of course, Hayabusa was there, which was their favorite pick, but I cannot see an answer to that particular draft. I mean, Benedetta was unstoppable. Yam played perfectly well, but I would say it was kind of a free game for him because this is not something that 10 Seconds Gaming Frost can mend. And if you look at their heroes, like the Sicilian, it's a very late game based hero.
Exactly.
You need to really stack up first. But with so many gap closers from the side of 10 Seconds, from the side of Alter Ego, it just was way too easy in the mid game.
Yeah, because we have to remember as well, a few patches before the Sanguine Claw, they removed the slow effect. So there's really not much peel for the Sicilian. So the Sicilian wants to stack. It's definitely something that he wants to do. But every time he wants to do that, he exposes himself to danger. And there's, again, not enough peel for him in this game. So either way, it looks cool. Again, it does look cool. But it's not really practical.
Yeah. You know what? We might want to see look back at the game, and with the highlights, we will see how difficult it was for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost to actually teamfight in this game. Not only because of the draft, but also because of their execution. LaFell, what do you have for us with what can we look at when it comes to the teamfights? What are the key factors in there?
Exactly. So first of all, again, just like I said, when the highlights is up, I do want to look at the early game to see how Yam, even though he's just doing some simple things, it really impacted the game overall. And in terms of the team fight, just look at how scattered 10 Seconds Gaming Frost was. It's just because their lineup, again, is very, very contradicting, where Hayabusa wants to go in, Obiam, the Sicilian, wants to be, far away, and so,
This is maybe because of the fact that they first picked the Joy, and then they threw in another curveball in the end of the draft, which is about the last phase where they put the Carmilla as well as the Sicilian in, and you kind of know what will happen. This will be a side lane Joy no matter what, because I think that Carmilla doesn't really fit as a side laner nowadays. Now, the problem is you have this Joy, the problem with the side lane Joy, you know this, you play this well, very strong in the early stages, but if you don't pop off, if you don't have the strength in the mid game, you will really struggle so badly.
Yep, and right now, we will pause it right here if we are able to pause it, where we will look at Yam. And the situation over here, we definitely see that Yam is dying, but we look at what happened before, where he really delayed the red buff, and I think he even managed to get a kill. But look at how many members of 10 Seconds Gaming Frost here. We got Obi and Sevnia as well as Koro, and look at the minimap where the Yisun Shin is just freely taking his own buff. So in this kind of situation, trading 1 for basically like 4, it really is pretty good.
I completely agree. I think in a macro level, even if we look at just the golden EXP, it's really siding Alter Ego Esports because of the trades that they were able to make.
Yeah, and later on we will look at a team fight where, just like I said, okay, we want to pause over here as well, where we look at how scattered team 10 Second Frost Gaming are. We have Papa over here, we have Obuyan over here, we have the Jawhead down here trying to split push, and we look at Hayabusa, where Hayabusa is trying to go in, but he doesn't really have a good angle to really go in at, just because the thing is, Alter Ego Esport, they're very, very well coordinated. They can be all together. So the Ogi Shadow Kill, especially with Hayabusa having a very, very bad early game, is really not going to hurt. So in this kind of situation, no matter how you look at it, Alter Ego, 10 out of 10, will win the team fight.
Absolutely. And even if you look at the goal that they have right now, it just really translates how much firepower they have in this particular skirmish.
Yeah.
And this is like the breaking point, I would say, for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost. It's really difficult for them to come back from that point because the Sicilian is not having the farm.
Exactly.
The Hayabusa is not able to position himself in the map to get the farm and to deal the damage. And at this particular point in time as well, the Farce is just way too strong. Even as a mid lane or a quote-unquote supporting role, he deals so much damage already.
Credit where credit is due. The Jawhead did really well to punish Leo Murphy every time he wants to come in.
Yeah.
But that really happened in their own base, where Leo Murphy is a little bit too cocky. He went in trying to get a good way to dragon, and then he was just ejected back. So, and then to be fair, 10 Second Gaming Frost, they reacted very well, trying to get kills whenever they can. It's just their draft requires Hayabusa to almost be snowbally, and the Sicilian wants to stack safely, and both were not achieved.
This is what I call a draft wherein there's so many check boxes that you need to tick. And unfortunately for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, because their win conditions are way too much. There's just too many of the list.
Yeah.
And they cannot fulfill everything, and it was definitely difficult. Looking at the item builds of our players, both our teams, obviously it's pretty standard for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost, but for Alter Ego it was easy for them.
Yeah, and for me, we look at Obuyan's itemization. He created the Dominance Eyes to add a little bit more damage on the Lightning Truncheon. But I feel like having a Clock of Destiny earlier on would be a little bit better. But he could not do that just because we look at all the pressure that was on him. If he created the Clock of Destiny first, and then Lightning Truncheon, and then Dominance Eyes, is probably pretty good. But just like what our caster said, he did this just because every single time he wants to get stacks. Let's look at the heroes. Benedetta, Cho, Yi Sun-shin, Khalid, all of these heroes can go to the backline and punish Obuyan.
That is why I feel is a very big indication of how you drafted badly. When you have to go against your natural build order in a very long way, like for example, a Dominance Ice on the Sicilian, you know that you drafted badly.
Yeah.
Because you have to compromise so much that you kind of don't have the nature of the hero anymore.
Exactly, and right now we look at the stats. 10 towers for Alter Ego, but 10 Second Gaming Frost, they only had one, which just shows more of the game where they had no control of the map at all. No lords were slain, and the rich guy, Selly Boy, 868 gold per minute, the carry. Selly Boy as well with 64,000 damage for Gotham and Leo Murphy with 11 assists, and Sandbag 70 with 92 damage taken.
Yeah, if anyone will be facing up against Alter Ego, tanky enough and mobile enough, that is so annoying to deal with. And unfortunately, there's really not much for 10 Seconds Gaming Frost to actually deal with it.
I just like how much Yam is really growing, where we can definitely see, like, even the comment section, everyone was just like, oh, Yam is not doing good, pull him out. But right now, he's just like, no, this is the playoffs. This is the World Championship. I want to do my thing. But while we still have the chance, Wolf, I do want to say thank you very much to 10 Second Gaming Frost for participating in the M2. However, their journey has ended here, so I just want to give a bow of respect to you guys, where they performed really well.
No.
Really.
Not something, this will not be forgotten for sure.
Exactly.
Everybody almost counted them out. They didn't have the best chances to get into the playoffs, particularly because of the format that we have, but they did make it. It just feels so bad that they had to face Alter Ego in their first round.
Their journey was not easy.
Not easy at all.
They had the group of death. They don't have their own MPL in their own country to train that much, and then it's like, all right, we made it to the playoffs. Who we're fighting against? Alter Ego.
That is one of the most difficult things, but you gotta have to get it to them. They show their hearts out. The anime comeback, however, it's gonna be onto Yam, I would say.
Yeah.
It's great. And I guess we are yet to see more from Alter Ego. Will Odile be playing? Or are we already satisfied with Cassius?
I'm very satisfied with KCS, but we really have to see what Alter Ego thinks for themselves. But this is an interesting storyline as well, Wolf, where the villains, they have not, or the antagonists, they have not been beaten yet. So we have to see which protagonist will take them down.
Do you actually feel that Alter Ego is like the...
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. Well, now that has been our analysis for the particular game. We'll see more action today. But for now, we're going to be hopping to a quick break to prepare to an interview.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm excited to see what that interview will be. Please take it away.
Hey guys, it's Lysander and I'm here with Pai as well as Josephine who will be translating for us today. I'm going to talk to Pai. He's the MM/assassin of Alter Ego who just won over 10 Seconds Gaming Frost 2-0. So big congratulations to you guys. You guys survived. It's the lower bracket. It's very scary. How do you all feel about lower bracket and why do you guys not feel your full team?
Biasa aja sih, soalnya emang udah biasa dari lower bracket.
Is this a strategy? Is it? Do you guys work better under stress? Is that why? You know, lower bracket is one life, right? You only you lose, you go home. So is that better? Your team survives better under stress?
Ya intinya sih emang udah terbiasa di lower bracket, jadi nggak ada kerasa ketakutan buat di lower bracket.
There's nothing like that, but since we already get used to it being in lower bracket, so it's not stressful anymore.
Okay, all right. But you guys are not playing with your full squad. You know, lower bracket, it's kind of like last chance, and you didn't put one of your star players, Odile, in. So is there a reason? Why did he say, okay, I don't want to play, I'm chill, you know, I'm just going to relax?
Biar bikin kaget yang lain aja sih. Makanya mainin Cassius bukan Odile.
We want to shock everybody, so we play with Cassius, not Odile.
Okay. And I want to talk about Yam. Obviously, he's MVP of the game. He was your fighter, Uzong, as well as Benedetta. Just destroyed 10 Seconds Gaming. They didn't know what to do against him. What do you guys feed him? You know, from the group stages to now, so powerful, so much difference in his gameplay.
Lebih ke banyak discuss aja, jadinya lebih percaya diri sih Yamnya.
We have a lot more of discussion after the group stage, so Yam is now more confident of his gameplay.
Okay. And moving forward, you know, obviously you guys believe you can win the whole thing, right? Yes. You can believe you can win the whole thing. Who do you want to face next? You have either Omega or RRQ Hoshi. It depends on how their match turns out, but you're going to face one of these teams. Who would you prefer to face? Who's easier to beat to you?
Omega. Soalnya biar yang di bawah-bawah biar kita yang bantai, yang atas biar RRQ yang bantai.
So for us it's Omega because our plan is upper bracket, so RRQ will go fight in our upper bracket, then we fight from lower bracket.
So Indonesia dominance, yeah? One up, one down. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I like that storyline. You know, we'll see if that's going to be dominance MPL ID, right? You know, just destroying everybody. One last question before we throw it to the break.
Tetap dukung aja sih, Ci. Itu.
Keep supporting us.
Alright, keep supporting Alter Ego, guys, as they move through that lower bracket for that grand final position. Alright, guys, it's been great talking to Pai here, and we'll be jumping to a short break in just a few moments, guys. Stay with us, and we'll be right back with more M2 Mobile Legends action.